What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I just hit top out on a video, and we're just gonna hop right into it. So today I'll be doing a basketball video. I ain't done one in a while. I meant to get this done and uploaded on Friday, but it'll be uploaded on Saturday. But I want to do, I guess you call it a new series, I guess. But basically how to fix teams. So the first team I wanted to do that lost in the playoffs is the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, we know the Denver Nuggets have what, before this playoff run where most people, it was consensus best player in the world. They won a championship in 2023 with pretty much this nucleus, besides KCP and, trading Michael Porter Jr. to get Cam Johnson, a couple other pieces, things of that sort. But it's a pretty similar team. But as we all know, the Denver Nuggets lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of these playoffs, as they've lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves multiple times in the last couple of years. So with this, I'm going to go through a few different things on how to fix the Nuggets. So obviously, first I wanted to give three different issues with this team. It's basically why they lost. Two of them kind of go hand in hand, but the other one is on the offensive end. So the two on the defensive end that go hand in hand is one, their point of attack defense, and two, their rim protection. Obviously, if you watch the series, things of that sort, they just legit could not stay in front of anybody on Minnesota, which is why, one, when Ant was healthy, it was, Swiss cheese, really. But even when Ant was out, you seen Ayo Dosunmu end up having a 43-point game. Because they just could not, nobody could stay in front of anybody on that team. And what doesn't make it better is, one, Aaron Gordon was hurt. Aaron Gordon kind of lies as to rim protection for this team because we know Jokic is not really a rim protector. That's not his game. But Aaron Gordon being hurt, they can't stay in front of him. Jokic just, it was pitiful the attempts Jokic was making and trying to rim protect. But we know what was going on with that. So those kind of two go hand in hand. If you have a great point of attack defense, your rim protection can be a little lackluster because they're struggling to get to the rim anyway. If your rim protection is great, if you don't have the greatest point of attack defenders, it kind of, they balance each other out. But with the last issue that they have is basically their secondary creation. And this one's kind of, I put in parentheses, them being less reliant on Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic just to create offense. So the first thing I did, because I already, brought his name up, the question mark I had is, do you trade? Because they already traded one crucial piece. Obviously, they let KCP walk a couple years ago. He was their best point of attack defender. Last offseason, they traded Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets for Cameron Johnson. And I would say Michael Porter Jr., especially as what we've seen on the Nets, is the more explosive offensive player, the more dynamic offensive player. But, Cameron, with Cam Johnson, you know what you get. And also, Michael Porter Jr. kind of had a shoulder injury last season that hindered him, so he didn't look like himself, which is why I also think is part of the reason why they traded him. But like I said, they've already traded key pieces, so the next key piece they trade is Aaron Gordon. This Aaron Gordon, for the simple fact, is that he can't really stay healthy. Aaron Gordon in the last couple of years has improved worlds and worlds in balance of an offensive player with his offensive creation, his jump shooting, things of that sort, while also giving you what they traded for. Because one, he was a perfect fit next to Jokic. Like I said, he offers rim protection for them. I wouldn't say he's the greatest point of attack defender. One, he's getting older. Two, I feel like he really is great at guarding certain prototypes, and those prototypes would be like more of the big physical wings and things of that sort. Not really, wings who, more, the vastly athletic, like the Ant Edwards of the world. He's not really good at guarding them. But if you're saying like a Braun, I guess you could say like a Dylan Brooks, kind of people built like that, I would say that's, more his lane in the guard, and that's his archetype to guard. But my thing is, like I already said, to trade Aaron Gordon because he can't really stay healthy. He didn't end this series because of health. He did, try to play last year against the Game 7 against OKC, but we could see with that injury, he wasn't even 50% really. He didn't really offer a lot with that. And he was very crucial in that series, as we know he hit the game winner in game 1 and just a couple other plays. He's a very important part of this team. Just would you trade him? just for the simple fact that, you know, it's looking like he can't stay healthy. And if he's not available, you know, even though all that he means to his team, it means nothing if he's not on the court. So Aaron Gordon is, you know, on contract. He's contract through the 2027-2028 year. Has a player option for 2028-2029. He has a 4-year, $133 million contract. So that's a little over $30 million a year. So it's not a crazy contract to get over. But I don't know exactly who, even though all Aaron Gordon needs, I don't know exactly who would, you know, want to trade for Aaron Gordon this time. That, you know, that would be an improvement for the team. Because I feel like if you're trading for Aaron Gordon, you're in a win now situation. You're not expecting him to be that player, a part of a player who gets you over the hump for a certain hole that you need on your team. So I don't know exactly who would, you know, what team would trade for him and that, you know, could fit that situation. But that's one thing about trading him. Two, I don't know exactly if the Nuggets, you know, would actually want to let go just because he's been injured, 2-3 seasons. At crucial moments, maybe, you know, they just feel like this is just 2-3 seasons, they can figure something out. Getting into the offseason gets that, you know, maybe I went through basically, you know, who were free agents or players that I think should be traded this offseason. The fairy tale one, I would say, just because I heard, I think it was Nightcap. I don't think it was Club 520. I think it was Nightcap. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant doesn't. Well, I guess Kevin Durant fixed the secondary creation option. I mean, he would be more. It would be less secondary creation because it's Kevin Durant. But he fixed the other creation options and being less reliant on Jamal Murray. And Jokic, I don't think he fixed the other problem at this point in his career of point of attack defense and rim protection, just because Kevin Durant is finna be 38, 39. You know, you asking him to defend at a high level, especially in crucial parts of the playoffs at this age, it's just unrealistic. Let's be for real. But that's the fairy tale. I kind of broke it down, try to do more realistic for you know, certain holes, and then kind of at the end I put some people that, you know, would probably, you know, fit multiple holes. Pause. Jesus Christ. And the three problems that I put at the beginning of the video. So for secondary creation, some of the options I had they could trade for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's, you know, been a high get for a couple players. I mean, for a couple teams. Obviously, you know, he hasn't played an ounce of winning basketball in his career, so that, you know, that could be an issue. But as far as, you know, who Zach LaVine is as an offensive player, he would, you know, help them a lot. The only thing is, again, he kind of attributes, you know, with the, like I said, he helps the creation thing, but he definitely doesn't help the point of attack defense. He kind of attributes, you know, makes it worse. You know, with him and Jamal Murray and Zach LaVine in the backcourt, that's kind of real iffy on the defense. So that's one thing. CJ McCollum is another one that fits kind of the Zach LaVine part, helps the creation, point of attack defense. No, sir. I don't see him leaving Atlanta. Honestly, Zach LaVine is more realistic to me because Sacramento just need to do something different at this point, and having, you know, players that can help teams win now and players that are very good at this stage when y'all really just need to be bad, you know, it doesn't really help. So another one, Norman Powell. Norman Powell is, you know, second, more creation. Not a bad defender, so he would help a little bit of point attack defense, but you're not asking Norman Powell to guard somebody's best player in the playoffs. So this one's kind of, these last three are more kind of off the bench options. They're not really starters to be your starting shooting guard, but these are kind of more off the bench options because they didn't really have a bench. One thing that also, I forgot to say this, one thing that also, you know, could help them is the health of Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson was a crucial part of his team, and Peyton Watson actually is kind of a plug for all three of these holes. Pause again. That I talked about it. Team, obviously, point of attack defense, secondary creation. So he was obviously, you know, a big miss for their team. So that could also help, and that's why they might not want to, you know, mess with the team too much, because they have somebody on the roster who could also help. Like I said, these last three are more off the bench options, kind of more six-man, I guess, options in a way. Quentin Grimes, Cam Thompson, and Malik Monk. Obviously, all of those are going to help your creation and shooting and things of that sort. So I don't think I have to speak too much on them three. As far as rim protection at the 4, because you would have to get another player similar to Aaron Gordon in a way. like the perfect, like honestly, the perfect player to play beside Jokic at this point, if you can't get an air goal, would be somebody like Shet. But those type of players, just don't exist. They don't grow on trees. So that would just be, somebody who can knock down a three and is basically like a center playing the four who's mobile enough to go on the perimeter and help backside. Obviously, they're not getting checked, so that's why I didn't even discuss it. But like I said, for rim protection, somebody I thought was interesting is John Collins. I don't see the Clippers giving up John Collins, but I think he would fit well besides Jokic. Jump shot may not be where you want to be, but at some point, Aaron Gordon's jump shot wasn't where you wanted to be, and Aaron Gordon has improved as a shooter. So, and he's younger than Aaron Gordon, and he provides a lot of other things defensively, Aaron Gordon, and athleticism. So, as far as point of attack defense, this one, obviously he's been playing very well this offseason. I mean, not this offseason, this postseason. Kelly Oubre for point of attack defense. He's been, like I said, Kelly Oubre has been a ultimate, glue guy and role player this postseason. So it'll definitely be interesting to see with that, if this will help him, him stay on Philly or launch him into maybe a bigger role. Even though Kelly Oubre is, pretty, he's getting up there. Been in the league for a while. Another one is Dean Wade, I guess, kind of. I didn't really see that. Another, if they wanted to go backcourt, Keon Ellis, because Keon Ellis is not getting a lot of minutes in Cleveland during his playoff run. I don't know why exactly what's up with that and Kenny Atkinson, but Keon Ellis, obviously point of attack defense, and he could. Well, I ain't gonna say he's a knockdown shooter at all, but maybe from time to time he could hit a jump shot. Terrence Mann. We know what Terrence Mann can do. We know what Terrence Mann offers. Isaac Okoro, we obviously know is not is a great defender, but offensively he gives you nothing. So that's why that might be an issue. That would just hurt the issue of them being even more reliant on Jamal Murray and Jokic. Offensively, Jeremy Grant. I don't see him leaving Portland because I feel like Portland has a great recipe what they're going on. Obviously, they made the playoffs. They got a game against San Antonio, but Denny played. They're probably expecting Dame to come back. Honestly, I seen that video of Dame dunking, and for him to still be this explosive comeback from Achilles tear, and Dame's I think he's like 36, somewhere in that ballpark. It's very impressive because that he looked bouncy in that picture, but yeah. But I don't see them being able to get Jeremy Grant, but he would definitely help the point of attack defense. Another one, and I don't know about this one. KCP. KCP is currently, or he just played for the Grizzlies. Obviously, the Grizzlies aren't playing meaningful basketball right now. We don't know what they're going to do with Ja. They traded everybody else, Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr. So they're not playing meaningful basketball right now. I don't know if KCP is still the same level defender, but maybe. And I got three players that can kind of fix multiple holes. All of these is more of point of attack defense and secondary creation / shooting. Kevin Huerter, not going to be a big fix, but he can help some of it. Derek White would probably be a bigger fix for this. Derek White did struggle to shoot the basketball in the first round though. That's the only issue. And with Derek White can get it up. He's not scared to shoot. Pause. Jesus Christ. But he's not scared to shoot. He is going to get it. So he does provide. And, it's very interesting to see what they're going to do in Boston. A lot of Jaylen Brown rooms, things of that sort. But they might try to get under the apron. And, Derek White has a pretty big contract. So I don't know if they're going to move. That's not really a thing. But it wouldn't surprise me, especially, with what Brad Stevens, has under his arm sometimes. And the last one I had, this will be for point of attack defense and secondary creation, DeAndre Hunter. Even though DeAndre Hunter got traded from the Cavs, which was very interesting, he was playing well at a point with them and was a crucial part as we thought he was going to be. So I think DeAndre Hunter might, for realistic options, might be, kind of number one on this list. In all honesty, him and Derek White, point of attack defender. And, can offer some type of secondary creation and get hot a couple games where you don't have to rely as much on Jokic and Murray. But, they have three big gaps, so obviously there's something they're going to look to improve on, especially when you have the players the caliber of Jokic and Murray, and you can win a championship with them because you've done it before. Obviously, they're going to look to improve, and this is ways I think they can improve. So that's all I got to say, though. Like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, on the video, and we out.